Hi everyone and welcome back to English Classes Online. In today's video, we are going to look at how to write a winning essay for any exam. If you are watching this video, chances are that you've got an exam coming up with an essay component and you want to make sure you absolutely nail it. Maybe you are starting at practice prompts, feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you've gotten feedback that your essays are too scattered or don't answer the question directly enough. Well, today I'm going to walk you through a proven framework that works for any exam essay, whether it is the SAT, ACT, app exams, college finals, WASSCE, or any other English exam. This isn't about being the most creative writer or having a huge vocabulary. It's about having a clear strategy that helps you organize your thoughts under pressure and deliver exactly what graders are looking for. So let's dive right in. Section 1, understand what graders want. First things first, before you can write a winning essay, you need to understand what graders or examiners are actually looking for. And here is the good news. Most exam essays are graded using a rubric. That means graders aren't just reading your essay and deciding if they like it. They are checking off specific criteria. Almost every exam essay rubric is looking for three main things. Number one, a clear thesis that directly answers the prompt. Number two, well-organized paragraphs with strong evidence and examples. And number three, clear, coherent writing with good grammar and transitions. That's it. You don't need to be Shakespeare. You need to be clear, organized, and directly responsive to what they are asking. So your first step before any exam should be to look up the rubric if possible. Understand exactly what they are grading you on. This is your roadmap. There are parameters that are used in WASSCE, for example, West African Senior School Certificate Examination. To mark your essay, they look at some critical areas. So you need to master those areas. Section 2, decode the prompt. Now let's talk about the prompt itself. The biggest mistake students make is rushing to start writing without fully understanding what the question is asking. You might have 45 minutes for your essay, but I want you to spend at least 3 to 5 minutes just breaking down the prompt. And here is how to do it. First, underline or circle the key verb in the prompt. Is it asking you to analyze, compare, argue, explain, evaluate, or discuss? That verb tells you what kind of essay you are writing. If it says analyze, they want you to break something down into parts. If it says argue, they want you to take a position. If it says compare, you better be showing similarities and differences. Second, identify any specific requirements. Does it ask for 2 examples, 3 factors, a specific time period? These are non-negotiables. Missing one of these is an instant point deduction. Third, rephrase the prompt in your own words. This forces you to truly understand what you are being asked, and it helps you avoid going off point. Once you've decoded the prompt, you are ready to plan. Section 3, plan before you write. I know the clock is ticking. I know you want to just start writing. But trust me, spending 5 to 7 minutes on planning will save you time and dramatically improve your essay. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. This is also applicable to essay writing. Here is the simple planning method I recommend. Step 1, brainstorm your main argument or thesis. What is your answer to the prompt? Write it down in one sentence. Step 2, jot down 2 to 4 main points that support your thesis. This will become your body paragraphs. Step 3, for each main point, quickly note what evidence or examples you will use. This could be historical events, literary quotes, scientific data, or personal examples depending on the exam. You don't need to write full sentences during planning, just keywords and phrases. This is your outline. If you get stuck during planning and can't think of what strong examples you can use, you might need to adjust your thesis. It's better to pivot now than to struggle halfway through your essay. Section 4, write a killer introduction. Because your introduction is a very important aspect of your essay, that is what will either win or lose with the examiner. Now you are ready to write, and your introduction has one job: hook the reader and present your thesis clearly. Start with a relevant opening sentence. That's what we call the hook. You don't need anything fancy. You can reference the topic of the prompt, use a relevant fact, or pose a brief rhetorical question. Then provide a sentence or two of context. What's the background the reader needs to understand your argument? And then hit them with your thesis, or what we call your thesis statement. This should be specific, clear, and directly answer the prompt. For example, if the prompt asks whether social media has a positive or negative impact on society, don't write social media has both positive and negative effects. That's wishy-washy. You must be clear. Instead, write, while social media enables unprecedented global connection, its overall impact on society is negative due to the spread of misinformation, mental health decline among users, and erosion of face-to-face communication skills. So you see the difference? Here you have taken a clear stand. That thesis takes a clear position and previews your main points, so the reader knows exactly where you are going. Your introduction should be about 4 to 6 sentences. Keep it right. Don't waste time with fluff. Section 5, build strong body paragraphs. Your body paragraphs are where you earn most of your points. Each paragraph should follow a clear structure. Start with a topic sentence that introduces the main idea of that paragraph. This should connect back to your thesis. Then present your evidence. This is your example, your data, your quote, whatever supports your point. Be specific. Vague generalizations don't cut in. After presenting evidence, analyze it. This is crucial. Don't just drop a quote and move on. Explain how it supports your argument. Connect the dots for the grader or the marker or the examiner. Then add a concluding or transition sentence that wraps up the paragraph and leads into the next one. Let me give you a formula. Topic sentence followed by evidence, analysis, transition. If every body paragraph follows this structure, you are golden. And here is another key point. Use transitions between paragraphs. Words like furthermore, however, in addition, and conversely signal to graders that you are organizing your thoughts logically. Section 6, craft a strong conclusion. Your conclusion should be brief but impactful. Do not just repeat your introduction word for word. That's lazy and graders notice. Instead, restate your thesis in different words. Briefly summarize your main points and, if appropriate, end with a broader implication or call to action. Your conclusion should be about 3 to 5 sentences. You want to leave the grader feeling like you've thoroughly answered the question. And whatever you do, don't introduce completely new information in your conclusion. This isn't the place for that. Section 7, time management tips. Let's talk about time, because time management can make or break your essay. Here is a general breakdown for a 45-minute essay. 5 minutes should be used for reading and decoding the prompt. 5 to 7 minutes to plan and outline. 25 to 30 minutes to write. 5 minutes to revise and proofread. If your essay time is different, adjust accordingly. But the principle is the same. Planning and revision time are not optional. Set mental checkpoints for yourself. If you are 15 minutes in and haven't finished your introduction and first body paragraph, you need to pick up the pace. And if you are running out of time, prioritize finishing your argument over perfecting your grammar. A complete essay with errors beats an incomplete essay with perfect prose. Section 8, revision and proofreading. Those last 5 minutes are critical. First, quickly reread your introduction and thesis. Does your essay actually deliver on what you promised? If you got off track, you might need to adjust your thesis to match what you actually wrote. Second, check for clarity. Are there any sentences that are confusing or unclear? Fix them. Third, scan for common errors, missing punctuation, sentence fragments, subject-verb agreement issues. You won't catch anything, but you can catch the obvious stuff. And here is a trick. Read your conclusion, then your introduction. Do they align? If not, adjust one or both. Don't try to rewrite entire paragraphs during revision. You don't have time. Just polish what you have. Section 9, common mistakes to avoid. Before we wrap up, let me share some common mistakes rubbish distant essays. Mistake number 1, not answering the actual question. So you need to stay focused on the prompt. Every paragraph should connect back to it. Mistake number 2, being too vague. Specific examples and evidence are what separate good essays from mediocre ones. Mistake number 3, having weak or non-existent transitions. Your essay should flow logically from point to point. Mistake number 4, writing an introduction or conclusion that is way too long. Keep them concise. Mistake number 5, using vocabulary you don't actually understand. Simple, clear language always beats pretentious words used incorrectly. And mistake number 6, forgetting to plan. Seriously, don't skip the outline. Well, this is now the time to recap. To write a winning exam essay, you need to understand the parameter, decode the prompt carefully, spend time planning, write a clear thesis, build structured body paragraphs with specific evidence, keep your conclusion tight, manage your time wisely, and always save time for revision. This framework works whether you are writing about literature, history, science, or current events, or an English essay. The structure stays the same. The more you practice this approach, the more natural it becomes. So grab some practice prompts and start applying this framework today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to English Classes Online for more study tips and exam strategies. Drop a comment below telling me what exam you are preparing for. I would love to know. Share this video with others who might need it, and remember, you've got this. With the right strategy, you can write a winning essay every single time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.